right? So how do we find the inverse of a matrix? Right? I'll give you all the steps. Step number one. Step number one is that you have to find the determinant of E. Right? That's what we did last class. Next, you have to find the cofactor. You have to find the cofactor matrix. Right? I'll explain how to get that. And then you have to transpose the cofactor matrix. And last step, 1 over the determinant multiplied this transpose of the cofactor matrix is the adjoint. Right? After you do that, step 4, just plug in your determinant and plug in your adjoint. Right, so I'm going to show you by an example. Yes, pull back hold one of the examples that should, in fact, the door you have it. Sure. Pick one. Pick one. Oh yeah. So I want to do an example. Okay. Right, yes. Tell me if we did this one last day. 137 2 minus 10504. Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay. And we got that same one, so you don't have to go and find the you don't have to go and find the terminal, right? 137 2 minus 10504. Right? So if you look here, right? We already have the determinant of this. We already know that the determinant of A was 7. Correct? That's the determinant, right? How do we find cofactor matrix now? It's a big one, huh? It's a big matrix. Right? It's a big matrix. So here's what you're doing. Watch here. So the cofactor is the sign multiplied by the minor. Right? I don't know if you remember the sign matrix. Plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. That's the sign matrix, right? So to get the cofactor of 1, I'm using the sign, which is plus, and its minor. Its minor is cancelled here. Its minor is minus 1004. Remember that from last day? Right? This is the minor of 1. But you would recognize I'm not multiplying by 1. I only multiply by 1 when I'm doing the determinant. Right? Cofactor of 3 now. The sign for 3 is minus, and the cofactor is cancel here and here. 200, 2054. 2054. Cofactor of 7 is plus 2 minus 150. That's okay. And then you do the same thing for the next row. So it will be minus 2. So you put in minus. This will cancel, 3704. Next one is plus. Cancel here and here. 1754. Then here, that's a minus. Cancel here and here. 1350. Right? Next one, 5, cancel here and here, 37 minus 10. Last one, last two, 0, cancel here, 1702, 1702, minus, and last one, positive, 132 minus 1. So what we found here is the cofactor matrix. Right? The cofactor matrix. Now I have to work all of these out. So then I'm trying to work them out one time. Minus 1 by 4 is 4 minus 0, so that's minus 4. This is 8 minus 0, so that's minus 8. Don't forget the sign on the outside. This is 0 minus minus 5, that's plus 5. Done with that. Come here now. 12 minus 0, put the minus on the outside. 4 minus 12 is minus 8. So I'll leave it as mine. Sorry, that's wrong. That's wrong, right? 4 minus 74 minus 35 is minus 31. Here's what? 0 minus 15, so that's positive 15. 0 minus 7. Everybody okay with that? Yeah. Right? So once you get your minus, attach your sign to it as a cofactor. Right? 2 minus 0, that's minus 2. Minus 1 minus 6 is minus 7. Right? That is called the cofactor matrix. So that's step 1 and 2 done. Step 3 now is transpose. Right? Squeeze that in where we're here. Just watch here now. How you transpose? Transpose means switching the rows to become columns. Right? And that's it. So it's minus 4, minus 8, 5. That's all. Row to become a column, minus 12, minus 31, minus 7. Row to become a column, 7 minus 2 minus 7. That's it. This is technique number 1 to find the inverse. So our final answer is A inverse is 1 on 7 by this. That's the way you find the inverse. Right? 1 over the determinant by the adjoint. Yeah. I don't know about this in somewhere. Oh, I didn't write 15, I write 5. Right, that's good. Think about when you're working this out, right? Check back all the minors. Seriously, all that part about this. 5 and 6. 5. Yeah, huh? But go easily anything else. They cofactor matrix here. Step 3 is transpose it. Right, just make a note what is transpose now. Switch all the rows and columns. The rows become columns. That's called transposing.
Add 1 2 and then 1 7 2 0. Not 1 7 2 0.
Huh?
The middle box class.
Yeah.
1 7 2 0.
1 7.
2 0. Not 0 2.
Yeah.
That's good.
But it should be 14 then.
Yes, yes.
I say it's the kind of mistake. I'll give you examples of the kind of mistake they can make, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So the kind of mistakes they can make in an example. W. W. Huh? Well done. Let's try this one now. Right? There is a next way, but I want to show you row reduction first, right? Before I show you.
Now I easier way.
Done this?
Yeah.
I just want to see.
I'm sure that would.
Row reduction is the next way. Might be
Shorter.
longer.
Well,
What kind of fun but how long would
No. Now, this is like adding a row and adding, multiplying this by 2 and adding it minus to get rid of 0 to get 0 something. Right? And even you want to have the answer to, so that we could check and see where it went wrong, right?
that's not good.
Huh?
Let's keep that.
So exactly. Find the inverse of let's start here. Find the inverse of this 1 minus 3 0 2 0 1 4 1 3. Find the inverse, right? So you have to do everything. You have to find the terminals and everything else, right? Find the determinant. I will think it's one I give you, right? I'll give it to you already. I would think so. If I give it to you, what will do? Right, find all the steps, follow all the steps and work it out. I have Yash. Find the inverse. Again, learn to use the calculator so you can check back your answer, right? Online, well, I can send all the answer.
I just see I just see me to stop, and I was like, better.
By done? Yeah. No, no, we can, I wanna think before again. But you get determinant page. Fine. No, you got all right. Start over.
No, I'm not.
Well, you get to the, no, that's correct, 5 correct. And, where you get to the adjoint.
Yeah, that's half a chunk.
Yes.
Negative
Right. Negative, right. Oh, we almost get, talk about the last one. Not your hand, wait, I say check. That's. Oh, let me show you second at the one time. It goes back. Okay. Right, don't forget to leave these at 1 and 5. That's not it. You have to leave the past on the outside. Leave the one put on the outside. You don't have to do that. I just want to put it on. Sure. One back to 5 as well. So you know, you don't think you didn't write my man does it. All the methods long, row reduction long too, but I'm gonna show you. In this unit, I'll tell you that. It's easy, but that's not easy. You gotta think at all. One system. Take me home. Take me to a place that I know cannot feel alone. Right, can I do that, Brian? I'm so bad, eh? Oh. Anyway, I'll try and show you so. Right, so find the determinant of M, right, that'll be 1 by 0, 1, 1, 3, plus 3 by 2, 1, 4, 3, plus 0. So I get 1 by minus 1 plus 3 by 6 minus 4. So I got 5. That's the determinant, right? Now we're going to get the cofactor matrix. Right? I'm going to try to not have to write all of that, right? I'll see if a lazy man thing could help here. So I did these already, right? Did I? Yeah. So this is minus 1. I did this one already. I got 2 minus 2. I didn't do this one. This is positive 2. Is that correct so far? Yeah. Next one is here. That is minus 9. So that's positive 9. This one here is 3. So that's positive 3. This one here is 13. So that's minus 13. Correct? Yeah. Here now. That is minus 3. So that will stay minus 3. Here now. That's 1. So that'll be minus 1. And last one. Wait, I feel I do that one wrong. No. Yeah, wrong here. It's just here. It's here. And this is plus, right? So this is plus 6. Right? So therefore, the inverse is 1 over 5 by the adjoint. So the adjoint will be minus 1, minus 2, 2, 9, 3, minus 13, minus 3, minus 1, 6. Right? That's method 1. Method 1 is, that's how you find the inverse. Look how short that is, 1, 2, 3 steps. Huh? Yeah, you have to, gotta believe in yourself. You believe in yourself. All right. So there's a next method called row reduction, right? So you have two things you need to learn. What is row reduction and what is augmented, right? Real simple. Let's say we have something like this. M is equal to 1 minus 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. It's a technique you still have to learn, right? You still have to learn it, right? But you won't have to do it for as much as what I'm doing here. Yeah, anyway. So you're doing that. Right. Here's the next method. The next method is something called row reduction. You remember in solving simultaneously, right? Elimination method. Remember you can multiply matrix by, equation by a certain value then minus the get rid of x or y, right? So we can do the same thing here. We can multiply this row by something and then add it to this to try to get a 0 somewhere. And the reason you're doing that is this. Whenever you want to find an inverse using row reduction, the augmented, here's what augmented is. Augmented is where you join these two together. So you're joining 1, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1, 4, 1, 3 together with this. Right? And here's how you find the inverse, right? To find the inverse, right? to find the inverse of phi, here's what you're doing. You have to make this matrix go here and this matrix come here. Right? You have to find a way to turn this into 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. You have to turn those numbers into these numbers. And you have to turn, and that's it. Wherever you get here, that's the answer. Right? So to find the inverse, here's what you have to do. You have to convert. So we have to use row reduction to convert the matrix M to I. Right? So we'll end up with something like this. We'll end up with I augmented with the answer, M inverse. All right? Right, not really making any sense yet, but in your mind, there's all a way to do. All a way to figure out. How do I turn this into this? That's it. How do I turn this into this? So let me show you what I'm talking about. So actually, no. One other finish. Not right now. Just one other finish.
Okay, so. I will finish.
Right, so here's what I'm gonna try and do. The first thing I'm gonna try and do, already I have one here, so I'm good to go. Right? This one and this one is already the same. I'm gonna try to get zeros here and here. So I'm going to get my first step. I'll show you via steps. My first step is to get a 0 in row 2 and here. So I'm trying to get a 0 in let's call that let's call this position row 2, column 1. So I'll use the normal notation, right? Row 2, column 1, and row 3, column 1. Right? How do I get zeros here? What you are going to do, right? Can I just make any sense? So in row 2, for me to get a 0 here, I am going to multiply this matrix by this row by 2. So I am going to take row 1, multiply it by 2, and minus row 2. If I multiply this by 2 and minus row 2, what would I get? Sophia? If I multiply this by 2 and then minus these two equations, these two rows, and I'll get 0 here. I don't care about what happened here. I only care about here right now. Right? So let's see what will happen. Right? I am not changing row 1, so I'll leave in row 1 as it is. Online, if you get lost, tell me. Right? I am not changing row 1. I only changing row 2. Right? So watch this here. 2 by this minus this, that's 0. 2 by this minus this, that's minus 6. 2 by this minus this, minus 1. 2 by this minus this, that's 2. 2 by this minus this, minus 1. 2 by this minus this is 0. Are you okay with that? Yeah. Next one. I want to get a 0 here. So I want to get a 0 in row 3. What would I do, Chinese? What would I do to get a 0 here? Right now, I can't use this row 2 one. Row 2 is no longer row 2. It changed. It's no longer row 2. It's in row 1, right? So I'm multiplying 4 by row 1 and a minus in row 3. Row 2 no longer exists. It looks like this. All right. So 4 by this minus this, that's 0. 4 by this is minus 12 minus this is minus 13. 4 by this minus this, that's minus 3, right? 4 by this minus this is 4. 4 by this minus this is this. 4 by this minus this is minus 1. Right? So I have 1, 0, 0. Are you okay with that? So far? Next, let's get zeros. Let's see if we can get these zeros here. Or we can get here and here. So we can get a 0 here and here. Right? We can get a 0 here. And a 0 here. Right? Are you with me so far? Yeah, it's a long process, right? But you have to learn it because when we're going to solve 3 variable equations, you have to use row reduction. But really, it's much easier there because it's like 3 times you have to do it. Here, we have to do it about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, or 8 sometimes. Right, what I was saying then, we have to get 0 here.
And so it's just, like, it did not ask you, some of the different equations, they get just answer like this, the identity.
Yeah. Right? Right, let's get 0. Oh, I forgot what I said. Where are going? No, we're getting these zeros. Here and here? Alright, good. So I'm gonna get step 2 now. I am going to get a 0 here. That is, so sorry, here, A, 1, 2. And here I said, right? And E, 3, 2. Right? So you would recognize I'm not gonna interfere with some of the matrices. Actually, let me do these one by one.
This one, this one, right?
No, it's long, guys, one long. But row reduction is a technique that you have to know anyway.
What's the answer?
No. They don't make you do it like this. I just showing you to introduce row reduction.
I said, I don't pay attention to it.
It's confusing.
Right? But you understand how to get 0 here? Huh? Okay.
This one.
Well,
Okay.
tell me how to get 0 here. Tell me how to get 0 here.
And a 0 in row 1,
Yeah. How to get 0 in row 1.
in row 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to get 0 here?
Multiply by this.
Okay, come up
But
then.
it's multiplied by 0. Yeah.
How to get 0 here? How about if I take row 1 and I multiply row 1 by 2? And then I subtract with row 2. Right?
Yeah.
The new row, right? The new row is this, right? Is the new row, right? There's the old rows. Okay? So row 1 is what? 2 row 1, right? 2 row 1. So remember I can't do what here again. We're no longer using this matrix. We're here now. So I'm multiplying 2 row 1. 2 by this is 2 minus this is 0. Sorry. Jumping in there. 2 by this is minus 6. Minus 6 minus 6 is 0. 2 by this is 0. 0 minus 1 is 1. 2 by this is 2. Yeah. 2 by this is 2 minus 2 is 0. 2 by this is 0 minus 1 is 1. 2 by this is 0 minus 0 is. Well, no, I didn't focus on getting a 0 there. Right? Some of those things that currently affect too much. Right, I can get 0 here now. I can get 0 here one time using these 2 rows. But you see how bad the numbers are? This is minus 13. So it's making kind of bad. You can't just add over like that. Right? Right, so I am going to try to get a 0 by A3, 2. Right? So how do I do that? using these two rows now. What to do? Huh? Here's where it get a little bad, right? What could use?
So,
Can I multiply this by 13 and this by 6 and then minus?
yeah.
Yeah? But I will need some help, but I can help now then.
So, what you can just
Right? So to get root 3, I am going to multiply 13 by root 2 and then minus root 3. Help more than up this. Right? Question. Somebody asked it just now. Faith, why it is I not using row 1?
Yes.
Why I choose to use row 2?
Because already, row one already used already. You not use the whole thing.
Right? The reason is if I use this row, I will introduce back a value here, and I don't want that. Then I ask you what could I figure it out? Anyway, 13 by 0 is 0, minus 0 is 0, right? Right. 13 by 3, I write the wrong thing. 13 by this, 6 by this, someone here minus, you'll get 0. Right? Help me out here, please. Help me out here. 13 row 2. I'm watching the wrong equation, right? 13 row 2 minus 13 plus 18. 5. Yeah? Right? Minus 13 plus 18 is 5. Here now. 13 minus, so that's what, 26? 26 minus 24. That's not bad. Here's what, minus 13. That's not bad. Here's 0 plus 6. Oh, how far we reach? Where next?
Nobody can do that.
I'm still just showing you what's row reduction. My response. Suppose they come and say use row reduction one. Well, they never do it before, but suppose they come and do it in 2026.
Exactly.
You're gonna leave this out. Right? We have 2 more zeros to get. Where to get them? Here and here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, I need some help. Use which one? Yeah, that could work. Huh? I can add these two.
Yeah.
Alright? So to get these 0 in row 1, I am just going to add these two, right? I'm going to add row 1 and row 2.
So, we're gonna get it 1.
Yeah, we'll get that now. Once you get these zeros, to get 1, say just divide the whole row by 2, divide the whole row by, and you're done. Alright? And he's a little excited. You're a little excited, you want to work it out. What you are doing, row 1. So 2 plus this is 2, 0 plus minus 6. See the problem? See what happened? 2 plus 0 is 2, 0 plus this is. I'll put back a 0 there, start going backwards. So what I'm trying to show you now is which row should I use? The last row, very good. Row 3. Right? So row 3 is what to do to get a 0? 5 by this. 5 row 1 minus row 3. Now you will get 10, 0, 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 minus 2. 5 minus 13 is 18. Right? 5 minus 13 is 18. Right? 0 minus 6. Hello, Christopher. What was the answer again? We get, see, look, we have it there. If we divide everything by 10, you'll get the first row. 1/5 by this is minus 1/5, right? When I divide this by 10 to get it 1 here, I will get minus 1/5. See that, Destiny? See that? So we have the first row so far, so we're not going so bad, right? I want to get 0 here. What to do? I want to get 0 in row 2. How do I get 0 in row 2? Can I multiply this row by 5? And then add. Right? I am okay with, I am satisfied with row 5, so row 3, so I'll leave it.
Finally.
Right? So I'm using these two, 5 by this. 5 by this plus this is 0. 5 by this is minus 30. 5 by this plus this is 0. So we're real good there. We're almost done. Help me out here. 5 by 2 is 10. Plus 10 plus 2 is 12.
Also, if you look back, I'll get that.
So this is minus 5 minus 15 is minus 18. And here is 5 plus 6. No, something wrong here. Help me again now. Minus 5 minus 13. And last one is what? 0 plus 6. Right? I don't have much space, but here what to do now. To get it 1 here, you divide everything by 10. To get it 1 here, you divide everything by minus 30. To get it 1 here, you divide by 5. Okay? And you're done. You don't have to. If they say row echelon, some books here. Some books is want you to put 1s here and 0s here. But if they just say solve, I don't know. I will show you what to do here. That's a guy who sells. But you get your in school already. Very good. Copy it down now. Copy it down.
Okay. So, I got
Right, it's not done, eh? You have one more route to write from up. Actually, I'm write it because I won't write it. And online might just take a picture. So let me make sure they get a good picture.
I think it's.
All right.
Right, so I divide everything by 10. And you will see it's the same values like if you multiply by 5. Right, next one I dividing by minus 30. So I get 12 on minus 30. Minus 18 on minus 30. And here I dividing by 5. So I get 2/5. 13 on 5. 6 on 5. And they all are equal, right? Right? This here is the inverse of M. One more technique. Last technique using this rule here. Anybody remember what it says? What it says? Right. So there's the next technique that allows you to find I dash here. Right? All we have to do now is just some equation on the other page. And probability. Probability, take it up. So then let's just
So then it's. That's why you.
Oh, we just back, the I just like to understand what you're doing,
Yeah.
how to get zero and how to get out. That's all. So you do understand why I'm multiplying with 1 by 2. That's all. That's all. Something else.
MIT also.
Right, and then obviously if you use the wrong rule then, yeah, that messes it up, right? Right, so I want to show you one more thing here, one more technique to find the inverse. That might- Huh? Yeah, tough find like so one topic and of course all together it's like there. But I can help you. I don't know. Y'all done? Alright. So let's try this next technique. Yeah, last technique. No, you gotta just, you can do it, I don't show you. Yeah, let's use this rule here. I have nothing to show you.
Yeah.
Online, I hope all you are awake still.
Yeah.
Alright. So, to my favor, multiply E by B. Huh? multiply A by B and show you again 20i. And then find the input. Oh yeah. Multiply. Oh yeah. Multiply A by B. And then find B. Oh yes, we started on that multiply.
We multiply. Why multiply?
This thing right there, things they show A by B. Yeah, so what about that?
Porque você fala.
Oh, mentira.
No,
Yeah. This is the. Yeah. Okay, go to this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right, this fine. This. This is 200. And you're about. Yeah.
All got you?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Right? So watch this here. How do I go from here now to the inverse? Right? Y'all got 20i. What is supposed to it is show. Right? It's show. So watch this here. How do I go from A by B is equal to 20i to finding the inverse? Right? Watch this here. So we know that from that rule there, we know that A inverse is equal to I. Right? But what do I have here? I have A by B is 20i. Right? So finish. How do I find the inverse from this? Compare these two. How do I find the inverse of A?
So.
Very good. Right? Vinesh, very good. Right? Take 20 and move 20 here. You will end up with A by 1 on 20B is equal to I. That's okay? So now, what do we have? We could compare. So you could say that A inverse is 1 on 20. Right? So if a question gives you something like this, it's very easy to find the inverse. Right? But you have to get something like this, huh? This is look how this look. Hello, Kira? Right? So that's the way you find the inverse.
Yes.
Right? Last thing before we wrap up. Anybody remember how to solve this? If you have a 2 by 2 matrix and you write it like this, X is what? A inverse B, right? A inverse B. Yeah? So if I give you a matrix equal to something and you write it like this, to get X, all I have to do is find the inverse and multiply by whatever the answer is. Right? So we can use this to solve equations using matrix method. Copy down. Let's do our next one. What? Time? No, I have 20 time. It's now 20 though.
Oh, serious, man.
I have real time.
So, how AX equal B and X equal to A plus B?
This is matrix, like whenever 2 by 2 matrix, you can write it like this. Can you remember that? Huh? Alright, well, I'll show you this. I'll see the doing I'll show you one time. Okay, well, when you had this. When you had this, right? If you put it in matrix form, you'll get 2, 5, 4 minus 3. XY is 1. Sorry, 7, 1.
Yeah.
So to find XY, you need to find the inverse of this and multiply it by this. That's what we're going to do it 3 by 3 now. Right? So we're going to learn to use the inverse method and we're going to learn to use row reduction. But the row reduction much easier because it's just 3 zeros here together, not 6. So it's just 3 sets of work in here to do. One more. All right, so when we finish the terminal, next we have to solve a system of linear equation. We can start it now or?
Yeah, it's up.
Yeah, it's not big.
So, you don't have any here.
Huh?
You don't have any here.
No, we had to do it, we had to do it.
Take up a status, we can have a look at it.
All right, we'll stop, right? All right, we'll stop.